Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. I've been thinking about melody a lot. And, in the classic American songbook, one of my favorite songs and great melodies is Time After Time. That's not the Cyndi Lauper song, but the Sammy Kahn, Jule Styne song, Time After Time. Let's break it down a little bit today. Well, apologies if you are a Cyndi Lauper fan. I love Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time, but I want to look at this song, which is, from It Happened in Brooklyn, 1947. And I think I first heard this song when I was watching this movie. I'm a big old movie fan. You can see that's a young Frank Sinatra and Jimmy Durante. Jimmy Durante's hilarious in this picture. Well, listen, we're going to break this song down. Do you know it? You might not. In this arrangement, we're in the key of C. And if you look at the simply the chord progression, it's, I'll just say a very straightforward, easy to understand progression. Listen, I'm just going to play through the tune. It's most frequently played as a swing, as I just did there. Well, as you can hear, it's got a really easy sort of binary form. And if you look over here at the score, it's divided with this double bar right here and here. It really is sort of two 16-bar phrases. The first, and very strong architecture, the first long phrase ends on the 5 chord. The second long phrase ends on the 1 chord in the key of C. All right, well, let's just dig into this thing here. So the first melodic sequence follows a harmonic pattern that's terrifically familiar to us. 1, 6, 2, 5. And melody goes 3, 1, 2, 1. It's almost a 3 blind mice, isn't it? Well, the answer to that is what I think of as an escalation of the same phrase up to, instead of down to C, E up to A, right back down chord tones and back to the C that we saw before. And now, after that escalation, we're going to push it even further from the E up to the B, the major 7. And that tone is so poignant and beautiful. Back to the 9th. We've talked about how the 9th is just this gorgeous sort of place to be on a major chord. And now it's time to set up the pivot. Now this D is a normal tone in G7, but it's a great tone in B half diminished 7, which is what we see right here. That half diminished 7 is 2, and then E7 is 5, heading to A minor, and another leap up. And I'm going to start on the 3rd of A minor. And you know what? This is exactly what we did on C, except now it's on the relative minor. And now we're up a 6 from where we started. That B7 is kind of like a secondary dominant to E minor. Another half diminished chord, or I'm playing it fully diminished. I suppose I should do this. A7 with a flat 9, that's the B flat, is the 5 of D minor. this sequence, starting from the A minor right here, is a beautiful turnaround pushing towards G7. And notice the accidental. That F sharp acts as a little pushing pivot. Now it really does feel like the D minor is important. D minor 7 heads us to G, and the melody just falls down to that D. And now we're starting the second half again. And here's where I think a lot of the magic of this song happens, because we're going to begin exactly as we began in the first section. Except now when we get to the D, here it was a regular old C major chord to B half diminished E7. We're going to up the ante. We're going to go to the 4 chord, the traditional sort of new location place, up to 4. So here we go from C up to the major 7. C7, it's the same melodic tone, D, and a big octave leap. And for a singer, that's a very, very big moment. It's the highest note in the song so far, and we're going to up the stakes a little bit more in a second, but that big leap of an octave is highly emotional. It demonstrates what my singing teacher used to call effort. When you have a song, an emotional song, it's great to demonstrate some effort in the actual melody. F minor is just like this poignant moment, and now the highest note in the song, and what's called the tessitura now for the rest of the song remains at the high C as opposed to the low C. Here's the major third on C, but an octave above where we started. And this melody down here is now echoed high up with the very poignant F minor chord. Secondary dominant D7, you can feel it pushing. I love that E flat diminished there. It's really also C diminished, isn't it? 2, 5, 1. And I've finished an octave above where I began. The range of this song is crazy high. Of course, if I was singing it, I would be down here. And honestly, this is quite low, and I can barely sing this high, So this is for Frank Sinatra, really. It starts down here really casually, right? At the very beginning of the song. And the lyrics, if you should look them up, are this beautiful, peaceful sort of thinking about how lucky a fella feels to be loving his gal. How lucky he is to be coming home to her when the day is through. I only know. Basically, he's saying, I only know as the years go on, I'll continue to love you. And then a final strong assertion, lyrically and melodically. How lucky I am. How lucky I am to be loving you. It's just a beautiful example of powerful melodic writing, great lyric writing, and we should, you should look at the lyrics too, just because it's just a set of great lines, and the simplicity of the harmonic language, with the couple of turnarounds to the relative minor up to the 4 chord, is underscores the simplicity of the melody. Those are beautiful melodic gestures. The one moment where things get the tiniest bit chromatic right here is just in service of creating the cycle to the D chord and then G to turn it around again, and it's really poignant. And it's peaceful. It's not like energetic, scary chromatic. It's more like beautiful chromatic. Time after time. What a great melody. And the contour of the melody is climbing the ladder, right? We're just kind of getting up there. And then when we get to the end of the song, we're right up at the top. It's a real musical type big number where you got the big finish. Well, Jule Styne, Sammy Kahn have written hundreds of amazing songs in the American Songbook canon, well worth taking a look at. I hope this has been useful. Well, like and subscribe, ding the bell to be notified when I do my videos. I'll see you next time.